Friends, this story is about a man who was crazy about going to the dangerous jungles of Amazon and researching the ancient things found there. But as soon as he went there, he fell into the trap of a tribe where only women lived, and all those women wanted a child from that man. So in the beginning of the story, we see a man named Tony who was roaming in the dangerous jungles of Amazon sitting on his boat. Tony was very fond of ancient things, and this hobby of his brought him here. He had come to know from somewhere that there is an ancient tribe in the jungle, and they have many kinds of ancient things. Since then, Tony wanted to see that ancient tribe and their ancient things. His friend, Tilu Tutpudium, was also with Tony. Now his team was moving forward continuously, but then their eyes fell on another boat on which there were river robbers. Those robbers stop Tony's boat and attack him. On the other hand, Tony also confronts those robbers, and his team also fights bravely with them. But because the number of robbers is more, Tony's team is not able to fight them for long, and all the people are killed. Tony and Toulouse save their lives and run away from there and somehow enter the jungle. Both of them did not know where they were. They needed help, so both of them started walking towards the jungle, but after walking for a while, Tony's health deteriorates and he falls unconscious. Actually, he was bitten by a snake. Tilu Tuntpunji sees that snake, and then he quickly finds some herbs and feeds them to Tony so that his life can be saved. Now, after eating the herbs, Tony was saved, but his condition was still not good. He needed help. So Tilu Tumunjin goes to find help, and Tony is left alone there. Even after a long time, when Tilu does not return, Tony goes to find him himself. He starts calling Tilu loudly, and then the jungle girls of that place, who lived in a tribe there, hear Tony's voice. On the other hand, Tony's condition was still bad, so he is not able to walk much, and he again becomes unconscious. Those wild girls were continuously watching him, and all of them had paint on their bodies. Seeing Tony unconscious, they come to him and pick him up and start walking. Actually, there was a tribe in this forest about which no one knew. Only girls lived in this tribe, and they did all the work here. We see that the girls who picked Tony up also belonged to this tribe, and they pick him up and bring him to their tribe. When Tony regains consciousness, he sees a girl named Natasha in front of him. Natasha wanted to give him medicine, and on her request, Tony drinks that medicine. Then he stands up and starts looking around and asks Natasha her name. Natasha tells him her name and also tells him that she had come to roam in this forest 4 years ago, but due to an accident, she fell into the hands of the girls of this tribe, after which those girls included her in their tribe. Now both of them were talking when some girls came there and kept a tub. Now before Tony could understand anything, those girls start filling water in that tub, but Tony was still not able to understand anything. Then all those girls caught hold of Tony and started taking off his clothes. They wanted to take off all his clothes, but Tony somehow stops them, after which they throw Tony in the tub and start bathing him. While hearing Tony's voice, other girls also come there, and they all start laughing seeing Tony, while Tony was getting angry at those girls, but he could not do anything. Actually, all those girls wanted to work with Tony, but Tony was scared of them and was pushing them away from himself. But when those girls start forcing themselves on Tony, then Tony somehow saves himself and runs away from there and comes to another room.
But there also he finds only girls. All those girls wanted to ride his Shabbat at any cost, but this time also Tony somehow escaped and ran from there to a new room. He saw that there was a boy named Shatir Shanki in that room, and many ancient things were lying there. Then, when Tony asks him about those things, then Shatir Shanki tells him that I came to this forest 10 years ago. Actually, I lost my way in the forest, and then suddenly these girls caught me and imprisoned me. I also tried a lot to run away, but could never succeed. Now, after listening to his words, Tony asks him about these ancient things and the tribe. The cunning Shanki tells him that all these things are made of gold, and they have been in this tribe for the last several thousand years. After which he tells Tony about the tribe and says that only girls live in this tribe, and they keep only one man in this tribe at a time because this tribe believed that if 2 or more men live in this tribe at a time, then this tribe will be cursed, and the girls here work only with the man whom they capture and bring, and all those girls give birth to his child, but if the child born is a boy, then he is killed at that very moment. And if it is a girl, then she is brought up by bringing her up. The cunning Shanky tells that I have also worked with many girls, and I also have many children, but now I have become weak. And now my horse does not have enough strength to give them more children. So now this responsibility is yours. You play the pinky of as many girls as you can and become the father of their children. Meanwhile, Natasha comes to him and asks the cunning Shanky to go to his room. As soon as she leaves, Tony starts talking to Natasha. But then Natasha tells him that I cannot talk to you much, and meanwhile, a woman named Bulbul also comes to them. We see that Natasha was a girl from outside this clan, so she could not talk much to Tony. She was just a maid here, and her job was to clean.
Now, Bulbul gets angry after seeing Natasha with Tony, but Natasha comes to know about his anger and she asks Tony to go to Bulbul. Tony agrees to her and goes to her so that he can calm her anger, but then Natasha tells him that you will have to work with her, only then her anger will calm down. Now, after listening to her, Tony starts praising her and says that the breasts are very big, and Bulbul also gets happy after hearing the praise of her breasts. Now, before she rides his horse, some other girls also come there and start fighting with Bulbul to get Tony. All those girls wanted to ride Tony's horse, so they all start fighting among themselves and Tony escapes from them. Then, after a while, Tony is brought to a big room. The queen of the tribe was in this room and Tony is presented in front of her. Seeing the beauty of the queen, Tony becomes crazy after her. But then all those girls start trying to pounce on Tony again, but then on the queen's orders, they all stop. After this, on the queen's signal, 2 vessels are kept near Tony in which something was kept. A woman comes and sets fire to those vessels, after which smoke starts rising from there. We see that there was intoxicant in those vessels, and due to that smoke, Tony also got intoxicated, due to which now he started finding all the girls beautiful. But he found the queen the most beautiful among them. Ronnie also understands his intentions, that this bus driver wants to take his pinky, after which she herself comes to him and both of them start to make love there. Then, the next day, we see that many people were going towards the jungle and all of them had come here to search for Tony.
But the girls of the tribe attack them too. Natasha comes to Tony and wakes him up from his sleep. She tells him that some men have entered the jungle and all the girls have gone to fight them, and this is the best chance to escape from here. So both of them decide to escape from the tribe. But as soon as they go to the other room, they see the dead body of the cunning Shanky, whom those girls had killed last night. Now on seeing his dead body, both of them get scared and start running from there. But then Bulbul comes in front of them. Bulbul had an arrow in her hand and her target was Tony. Now Tony tries to engage her in conversation, but then Bulbul shoots the arrow but she misses the target. Then Tony sees the opportunity and catches her. But Bulbul tries to fight with him. But then Natasha attacks him from behind and makes Bulbul unconscious. Now they leave the unconscious Bulbul there and start running away from there. They reach the forest while running. Meanwhile, some girls see the unconscious Bulbul and understand that this is Tony's work. After this, they all start going towards the forest to search for Tony. Natasha and Tony see those girls who had come after fighting with those heavy men. Seeing this, both of them hide and wait for them to leave. Then as soon as they leave, both of them start running again. Soon both of them reach the dead bodies of those men who had come here to search for Tony. But the poor guys died a dog's death at the hands of those women. Seeing their dead bodies, Natasha gets shocked, but Tony somehow manages her, after which both of them start running again. But during this time, they again see those girls. Seeing them, they hide again. But then on Natasha's behest, Tony cuts a tree and then applies its juice on his body. Actually, this was the same tree with the help of which green color was applied on the body and it was used to hide from the enemies. Then soon both of them become green and start running again. Now while running, both of them reach near a lake and swim from it and reach the other side of the forest. Now both of them had come far away from the tribe, but those girls were still after them. There both of them see an island which was floating in the middle of the river. Both of them quickly come to that island so that they can go away from these girls. Then as soon as they reach there, they hear the sound of an aeroplane which was circling above them. In this aeroplane, Tillu Punji or Tony had gone to find help. Then he also lost his way from there, and during this time, Tony was taken away by the girls of that tribe. Then at the end of the story, Tillu Punji or Tony and Natasha are saved. after which Tony and Natasha get married and start living together forever. And friends, this story ends with this.